Okay, welcome back to CTE Centered Edge Aiming, Keeping at It. Just wanted to give a brush up on some of the CTE movements. There's been a lot of feedback from viewers, and they just want to get a handle on it. So let's go over it again in detail. What we have in front of us is an object ball, and the object ball is broken up into three areas. That's 15, 30, and 45 degree perceptions. So if you look at the stripe on the object ball, on the left side of the stripe would be A, B would be dead center of the stripe, and C would be on the right side of the stripe. These are, again, perceptions. This is where you would aim from the offset of the cue ball to one of these areas. The perception of the 15, 30, or 45 is the angle to the pocket that the object ball is going into. You also, of course, have a 1/8 marker on both sides, and that's for very, very thin cuts. So let's begin. Some of these shots are relatively easy, but we'll go over it and just to give you guys a handle on the basic techniques. Always look for center cue ball to object ball edge, and then you look at the perception. In this case, it looks like it's a 30-degree angle. Now, camera angles are kind of difficult to really look at in terms of angles. Sometimes it's difficult, but when you're on the table, again, this would be looks like a 30% angle. So in other words, it's a perception. You're going to be shooting from the left side offset. That's a half a tip offset to right to the B area, and just bring your cue to center cue ball and shoot. Now this is a basic 15% perception. So you're looking at the A on the object ball. Now you're lining up the cue ball, that's the cue ball to edge, and then lining up from the offset, half tip offset, right to the A. Your leg is behind that cue ball. You're lined up pretty much. All you're doing is pivoting from left to right. So it's offset, right to center. And once you're into that center position, you shoot. Straight shots are straight shots. So you could use whatever you have in terms of tools, whether it be ghost ball or whatever. But I tend to use A on the straight shots, so it gives you a line of sight that's a little bit better, I think. So I'm lining up to A. I'm pivoting over to center. Put it right in. This 9 ball is going straight into the corner. It looks like about a 30% perception. So I'll be aiming at the B, which is in almost dead center. So I'm shifting from offset position, that's a half tip offset, right to the B. Moving my cue over a little bit, just a half a tip. Same shot. This would be probably looks like it could be a B and A. There is some latitude because the balls are obviously less wide than the pockets. So sometimes you could shoot this as a B, you could shoot this as an A, it probably would still go in. In any case, you would be aiming out. But the thing here is that you could pivot from the left or you could pivot from the right. It's just something that you really have to go on the table and figure out which is best for you. Regardless, some people are left-handed or left-eye dominant. I'm right-handed and left-eye dominant, so it's different for everybody who's shooting. But you still have to pivot over from half-tip offset either way, and then go to center. Here I'm just doing it from the left side, pivoting it from left to right. Same shot. I like these little angle shots because it shows you, at least on the camera view, just about where to hit and the angles. Now this looks like about a 45-degree angle. It's steeper than it looks off camera. So you're going to be aiming at the C in this case. So what I'm doing now is bringing my cue back from the offset, that's half tip, offset from center, aiming at the C. All I do is pivot over to the center of the cue ball and then shoot. Many of these shots, you just have to practice them off and on. I have the ability now. I don't do as much as pivoting. I can come right into the shot, hit that perception, and that's where I usually go. But on deep shots or tough shots, I still use the pivot, and it does, of course, work. But it takes practice, 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 and practice. So I'm pivoting over. Now you can make this. I can make the shot in the corner just like this last one, but I'm going to hit it in the left-hand corner by utilizing a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to hit it, pivot over, and it just fell in. Here's a rail shot on the left side of the table. So in this case, you're aiming on the opposite side, so it's an A, 15% straight up. So I'm going to bring it back. I'm half to offset. I'm going to center. I'm aiming at the A, and then I'm just hitting offset. Here's a shot that's directly, looks like a side pocket shot. But what I want to do is just turn it around to 1 so you can see that's where the 1/8 marker is here. So I'm aiming just about where that 1 is, and I'm going to put it in the corner. Pivot over. Same story. This is a 1/8 shot right into the corner, steep angle. So I turned around where the 12 is. That's just about where the 1/8 marker would be. And you could just look at that 12, point it over from the offset, bring it to center. And you're in. Now shots like this, they're basic fundamental shots. They're not very difficult, but this is a bank. I just wanted to try. I don't do banks much in CTE, so if you're doing a bank like this, you could hit the C, and just instead of putting the ball in the corner, and you needed to bank it for whatever reason, you could do that just by hitting the C on the object ball. I'm still pivoting over, and banks work. I mean, if you practice with it, it's really very interesting that it does work as well as it does. I'm not big on banks, but it's something that you should try out. And here's the same shot going to the corner, and this is just a B, standard B stuff. Here's a shot that you could hit in the corner, but you can also hit in the right corner. Since the ball's closer to you, it's almost easier to aim in a way that you could just aim for that. In this case, aim for the A, put it right away. Now you can hit the ball straight up. You could use in this case, I'm just aiming for A, pivoting over. You could, you still, of course, you could do positional moves in terms of drawback or English. So anything you might use, of course, it has to be on the ball as well. You have to realize that English will transfer over to the ball, so make that adjustment. But generally, I'm hitting center in most cases, and you're making the shot pretty much a good portion of the time. So when you're lining up, just line up that left leg behind that cue ball. You line up fast and you're in. This is a deep cut shot, and it's a long shot. So in this case, I'm going to aim, since it's such a long shot and it's a very steep cut, I'm aiming for the edge of the ball. So what I'm doing is from the offset, I'm aiming right at the edge of the object ball, and there is some areas where you after 3 or 4 diamonds your B doesn't work and things like that. So we want to check that out. But here I am, offset, aiming for the edge, bring it to center, and there you are. Well, thanks for watching, and welcome you.